This donghua begins by showing a legendary sword called dashing. The dashing sword will show its power once the chosen one wants to use it. The scene then moves to a village called Wudongluo, where people can be seen gambling in a bar. Not long after, a young man named Ding Ning came to the bar to gamble. He initially surprised the people placing such a large amount of bets, but he apparently cheated and was caught by the people, so he ran away. The scene then changed to a sailing ship carrying Qin Dynasty soldiers to the village. Some of the soldiers even dived to get to the village. Meanwhile, in the village, a swordsman named Zhao Zhan was running. Suddenly, he was attacked by Qin Dynasty soldiers because he turned out to be a swordsman from Jianlu Academy, who was in charge of protecting the dashing sword. After all, the Qin Dynasty soldiers tried to snatch it from him. A battle ensued between Zhao Zhan and the Qin Dynasty soldiers, and he defeated them all. Not long after, the leader of the Qin Dynasty warriors appeared and then surprised him when he saw it because that person turned out to be the chief overseer named Ye, the woman who was the owner of the waterfall sword. To keep the dashing sword information, Zhao Zhan issued his ultimate move against Ye. Then there was a big explosion due to his move. Ding Ning, who accidentally ran to the battlefield, was affected by Zhao Zhan's moves, so he fainted but returned to his senses and found a cut sword. Then, he met Ye, who was seriously injured and fainted in his arms, so he decided to take care of her at home. After a few days, Ye was still unconscious due to her injuries, so Ding Ning went to the medicine shop and bought medicine for her. On the other hand, the Qin Dynasty soldiers returned to the village in large numbers and killed everyone. Ding Ning, who knew this, rushed to return to his house, where Ye was awake but still looked weak. The Qin Dynasty soldiers had apparently arrived at his house, and a man grinned when he met Ye. Ding Ning, who had just arrived at his house, met a boy named Wang Tai-su who was running away, but unfortunately, he was stabbed to death by a sword right in front of Ding Ning. Full of anger, Ding Ning wanted to retaliate, but Ye, the woman, saved by him, appeared and stabbed him until he was unconscious. When Ding Ning woke up, he realized he was being taken to a place that was the residence of Zhang's family. A nurse was seen checking his condition and reporting to someone he called Grand Lady. Then, when the nurse left, Grand Lady came out and turned out to be a little girl. Soon after, she treated Ding Ning's wound with her sword technique. While treating him, she felt something like silkworms, which could help speed up the healing of his wounds. After some time of concentration, she managed to heal him, even closing the wound. On the other hand, the prince of the Qin Dynasty, Prince Fusu, seemed angry over the massacre in the village of Wudongluo, which was actually carried out by one of the Qin Dynasty generals named Liang. General Liang then sent a message to his subordinate, Chen Zhe, to speed up their mission. Meanwhile, Chen Zhe held Ye captive in the horse carriage. The scene changed and showed several men who were the subordinates of Grand Lady who were being assigned to return to Wudongluo village. But when they got there, they were surrounded by the corpses of the villagers who had turned into zombies. At night, Grand Lady sleeping beside Ding Ning suddenly woke up hearing a voice. Then when she checked the sound, it turned out that the voice came from her subordinates who had turned into zombies. The Grand Lady panicked when the zombie was about to attack her. Fortunately, Ding Ning had woken up and saved her. But the other zombies kept coming and surrounded the room where they were. Afterward, he carried her out of the room and fought the zombies, but there were too many of them, and the log that he used as a weapon was broken and useless. When they were cornered, two swordsmen from Jianlu came to their rescue and managed to defeat all the zombies. At the same time, Ye is still being held captive. She was then given an offer by Chen Zhe to be his wife, but she refused. When he left, Ye activated her waterfall sword technique and finally managed to escape from there. She deliberately stabbed Ding Ning so Chen Zhe wouldn't kill him like the other villagers. The next day, an angry Ding Ning was seen walking aimlessly. Apparently, the Jianlu swordsman told him about the attacks perpetrators on his village and tested his abilities. Because he had no fighting skills, the swordsman Jianlu forbade Ding Ning to return to Wudongluo village. Frustrated, Ding Ning accidentally stopped in front of a bar. He saw a young man who was playing roulette spin and managed to win. The bar owner, who knew the young man was cheating, called Grand Lady. While the young man and the bar owner were arguing, Grand Lady arrived with the two Jianlu swordsmen. However, suddenly the two girls with the young man attacked Grand Lady. The swordsman then protected her and managed to defeat them, who turned out to be mechanical puppets. After that, the young man invited them to bet with his weapons, but Ding Ning volunteered to bet with him. Ding Ning managed to make the young man press and make the young man attack him. Fortunately, he could expose all of the young man's cunning tricks in front of everyone, so the young man gave up and introduced himself, named Gaohui. Gaohui then told Ding Ning and Grand Lady that they had all been poisoned after fighting the zombies, resulting in black spots on their skin. He explains how to get rid of the poison by killing the zombie controller, known as the King of Ghost. Meanwhile, the King of Ghost is apparently still walking around in the village of Wudongluo with the zombies who are under his control. Not long after, Ding Ning and the others arrived at Wudongluo village and felt strange about the fog that enveloped the village. There, he saw the condition of his village and now became reminded of his village before the massacre occurred. Zombies began to appear and surround them. Suddenly, he was attacked by zombies who used to be his closest friends, so he was forced to kill them all. The King of Ghosts finally appeared with his zombies. He was behind Ding Ning and then strangled him. Desperate, he accidentally activated the power hidden in his body. Ding Ning's body was instantly enveloped by a fire-like light, and his eyes turned red. After that, Ding Ning and the others attacked the King of Ghosts and managed to kill him. After that incident, he prayed for the villagers and vowed to avenge them. On the other hand, Zhonglu's swordsman finally believed in his abilities. Ding Ning began to travel to Jianlu Academy to secure the Dashing sword from Chen Zhe and his troops. When they stopped by a town, they again met Gawei, who was selling fake swords on behalf of the Jianlu Academy. Jianlu's swordsman didn't accept it and wanted to catch him. Gawei was pressed against the bell tower, and Ding Ning kicked him so that the bomb he held exploded. After that, Ding Ning and one of Jianlu's swordsmen, Qin Wei, jumped and fell into a hot spring. There, he realized that Qin Wei was actually a girl. Meanwhile, Prince Fusu continues to emphasize the arbitrary actions of General Liang and orders him to stop all his actions. The scene moved and showed Ding Ning and the others had arrived at Jianlu Academy. They realized that the place had apparently been surrounded by Qin Dynasty soldiers and then fought with the soldiers. Afterward, Qin Wei gave Ding Ning a sword to fight, and they finally managed to defeat the Qin Dynasty soldiers. Soon after, Ding Ning and the others rushed to where Dashing's sword was, but Chen Zhe was already there and waiting for their arrival. They were caught by Chen Zhe's elite troops. Even though Ding Ning tried to fight back, his strength did not affect Chen Zhe's elite troops. When beaten by Chen Zhe, Ding Ning was defeated and helpless, but Ye then appeared and was about to save him. Chen Zhe, who discovered they knew each other, became angry and jealous, then beat Ding Ning again. Seeing the increasingly difficult situation, Ding Ning was determined to go to Jianlu's core and take Dashing's sword. But Chen Zhe laughed and underestimated him, who could not possibly control Dashing's sword. On the other hand, the swordsman and Grand Lady were fighting against Chen Zhen's elite troops. A desperate Grand Lady took out the other side of her and managed to defeat his elite troops. The scene switches to Jianlu's core, where it is revealed that Ding Ning is actually the chosen one who can awaken the Dashing sword, so all the lava in that place shrinks and is sucked into the Dashing sword. After that, he attacked Chen Zhe with a Dashing sword, thus making it difficult for Chen Zhe to fight him. Soon after, Chen Zhe asked Ye for help, but she refused his request because of all the heinous deeds that he had done. Hearing this, he became furious and took out all his strength until he managed to turn things around and hurt Ding Ning. This made Ye intervene to help Ding Ning, but because their battleground was at a height, he fell, and Ye helped him. She managed to grab his hand, but she removed it from the roof for refusing Chen Zhe's help, so they fell. The scene changed into the cave and showed Ding Ning and Ye, who had survived. Even so, Ye was unconscious, and her condition worsened, thus making Ding Ning try hard to warm her body. The next day, Ye, who had woken up, took him to an uninhabited village. She said that the place was on Qin Wei's border. Not wanting to be affected by the war, the villagers fled. At night, Ding Ning and Ye saw a messenger being chased by the Qin Dynasty soldiers. She heard the plans of General Liang said by the soldiers. Then, they went out and killed the soldiers. The messenger who was dying then left a secret message to Ding Ning to be given to the head castle of the Wei Dynasty. The next day, Ding Ning and Ye went to the border, where they saw that General Liang had moved troops and set up a camp to attack the Wei Dynasty. On the other hand, facing General Liang, Chen Zhe looked terrified at failing to carry out his duties and seemed to beg General Liang for one last chance, and he agreed. Meanwhile, court officials in the Wei Kingdom forced the king to decide on the Qin Dynasty troops that would attack them. However, the king sitting on the throne was a fake king, while the real king had become a protective aura to protect the city. Not long after, the swordsman Jianlu and Grand Lady arrived and offered to help the palace master protect Liang's city. Meanwhile, Ding Ning and Ye, who were on their way, were finally forced to fight against the Qin Dynasty soldiers who were chasing them, and they fled into the river. At the same time, the palace master attacked and ordered the Qin Dynasty troops to tell General Liang to withdraw his troops. Not long after, they saw two people emerging from the river. They turned out to be Ding Ning and Ye, who managed to survive. Ding Ning then gave the secret letter he got to the palace master, who looked surprised when he read the contents of the secret letter because it turned out that General Liang had a cunning plan to destroy Liang's city using a forbidden technique. Knowing that the Qin Dynasty's power was greater, Ding Ning asked the palace master to draw up a plan. But at night, General Liang sends his soldiers to sneak into the palace to speed up their plans. The next day, Qin Dynasty troops began to attack from the north gate. Then, Ding Ning and the others realized that and divided the teams. Before leaving, Ding Ning gave the palace master a silk pouch. The battle ensued, and it seemed the palace master and the swordsman managed to secure several places in the north gate. Meanwhile, Ding Ning went to where Chen Zhe was and started fighting. Chen Zhe then used all his strength and made Ding Ning so desperate even he managed to stab Ding Ning in the back. When he was about to kill Ding Ning took out his wooden statue and managed to stab Chen Zhe to death. After all, Ding Ning managed to avenge the villagers. On the other hand, General Liang had apparently managed to enter and was at the top of the tallest palace tower, having previously infiltrated his soldiers. He ordered his soldiers to finish off the troops there. After that, he prepared to activate the forbidden technique. Not long after, Ye came to the place, but General Liang had succeeded in making a magic seal so that the citizens looked terrified to see the great disaster that would destroy their city. The forbidden technique in the shape of a black ball seemed to get bigger with time and was about to hit the Liang city barrier. At the same time, the palace master, who had read the letter from the silk pouch given by Ding Ning, brought all the citizens to evacuate. At the top of the tower, Ye was still trying to get General Liang to cancel his technique, resulting in a fight between them. But her strength could not match that of General Liang. Luckily, Ding Ning came in time and saved Ye. Afterward, they worked together to defeat General Liang, but his strength was still unmatched. At the same time, the forbidden technique finally collided with the Liang city barrier and caused the barrier to shatter. Suddenly a light appeared and covered the dashing sword and made the sword strong. Then, Ding Ning attacked General Liang, but he apparently still had an ultimate move, so he managed to turn things around. When Ding Ning was almost killed, Ye pushed him and received General Liang's attack, making her fall from the top of the tower. Ding Ning then jumped in to save the injured Ye and promised to heal her. But the gravitational field of the forbidden technique was getting bigger, causing her to finally let go of his embrace and bid farewell. Sadness and anger were mixed in Ding Ning's heart, thus making his true identity finally awaken. Then, he shot and attacked General Liang, who was surprised to see his current strength. Even he managed to make General Liang pressed. Afterward, Ding Ning continued to scream angrily as a red light enveloped his dashing sword and attacked General Liang again. After fighting for a long time and receiving several injuries, he finally defeated General Liang. Meanwhile, General Liang finally realized that Ding Ning was actually Wang Jingmeng, the original owner of the dashing sword. After the forbidden technique was successfully stopped, Grand Lady and the Jianlu swordsman searched for Ding Ning's whereabouts. After some time, they finally found Ding Ning unconscious after the battle. Grand Lady and the swordsman Jianlu brought Ding Ning back to Wang's family residence, Grand Lady's home. Meanwhile, General Liang, who survived, was seen facing Prince Fusu and the Queen of the Qin Dynasty, who were furious because of his actions. In the end, Ding Ning was still unconscious, but began to dream of his past memories one by one until finally he woke up and discovered his true identity as Wang Jingmeng, the owner of the dashing sword. This is the end of the donghua. The moral message we can learn is not to give up easily. Even though others always belittle us, we have to keep trying until we succeed in bringing out all of our potentials.